please. மானமும் அறிவும் மனிதனுக்கு அழகு என்று சொன்ன தந்தை பெரியாரையும் பட்டங்கள் ஆள்வதும் சட்டங்கள் செய்வதும் பாரினில் பெண்கள் செய்ய வந்தோம் என்று சொன்ன மகாகவி பாரதியாரையும் நினைவு கூர்ந்து எல்லையற்ற அன்பையும் பாசத்தையும் என் மீது பொழிந்து எனக்கு வாய்ப்பளித்த மயிலாடுதுறை பாராளுமன்ற தொகுதி மக்களுக்கு நன்றி கூறி இந்த தேசத்தை காப்பாற்ற வந்த மகாத்மா காந்தியின் உருவில் இருக்கின்ற எங்கள் இளந்தலைவர் ராகுல் காந்தி அவர்களுக்கு நன்றி கூறி என் உரையை துவக்குகின்றேன். Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. I am honored to be a first-time MP from third generation Congress family. I am not only first-time women MP from my community in Tamil Nadu and also first-time women MP from Mailadure constituency in 57 years. Sir, Mailadure constituency is a land of gods, saints, adinams, churches and mosques and devotees, sir. I am proud to follow the footsteps of Rani Velu Nachiyar, the proud of Tamil Nadu, like how she regained her Sivaganga kingdom by defeating East India Company. I have confidence that
come to final bit.
I have confidence that my maiden speech, sir. I have confidence that India will be freed by defeating forces of communalism, fascism, casteism, inequality. Sir, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji united India and made it as a strong union of states. Sadly, sir, today cooperative federalism has been reduced. Competitive federalism and austere federalism. Sir, I will give 3 examples. First, even though 15th Finance Commission mandated that the government of India should devolve 42% of total revenue taxes and revenue, the government is devolving only 30% of the 38.5 lakh crores of total tax revenues. Similarly, sir, the government of India has not devolved a single paise from 36 lakhs crores. It rises as cess from 2015 to 2024 to the state governments. Secondly, sir, the government is now transferring less fund to the states and reducing its share even in centrally sponsored schemes. Today, states bear 40% of the burden while getting less revenues from the center, which pushes us into a greater debt. Let us elucidate with one example. So, not a single rupee has come from union government for school education in Tamil Nadu. Under this Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan SSA, in January 2024, the Union Education Minister sanctioned rupees 3,585 crore for SSA for Tamil Nadu for this year. Of this, rupees 1,434 crore was the state component, that is 40%. So the state government promptly disbursed that share, its own share. Yet 6 months into the year, the government of India has still not released a single rupee for the children education. Why this, sir? Finance Minister and our Prime Minister always talk about Thiruvalluvar and Tamil language. But their aim is, sir, தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு கல்வி கிடைக்கக்கூடாது, தமிழ் மாணவர்கள் கல்வி கிடைக்கக்கூடாது, நீட்டை கொண்டு மாணவர்களை ஒடுக்குவேன் என்ற எண்ணத்தோடு செயல்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கின்ற இந்த மத்திய அரசாங்கத்தின் கனவை தமிழக மக்கள் அடியோடு தகர்ப்பார்கள் என்பதுதான் உண்மை. Speaker, sir, thirdly, Tamil Nadu was devastated by floods in December 2023. Sir, ours is a coastal state that is prone to cyclones almost every year. We lost countless lives and assets every year. Yet even though Government of India has given 11,500 crores as a flood relief package to Bihar. We are not questioning about that. But our question is, makes a no special grant for Tamil Nadu, sir. Sir, both the finance minister and defense minister have visited Tamil Nadu, saw the devastation with their own eyes, Yet they have not provided any special package to us. Is the Tamil Nadu is a site for political tourism for BJP leaders, sir? When is this stepmotherly attitude going to stop? Sir, Tamil இனத்தையும் தமிழ் மக்களையும் அழிக்க நினைக்கின்ற யார் ஒருவரும் சோடோடு அழிந்து போவார்கள் என்பதுதான் வரலாறு. அதை நான் மீண்டும் மீண்டும் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சிக்கு நான் நினைவுபடுத்த Sir, I took only 3 minutes, sir. So my maiden speech, please consider. The women came from very rural area, sir. I came from very rural area. Please give me an opportunity. Speaker, sir, the government needs to understand that states have an equal responsibility to advance the economic and social welfare of 132 crore Indians. When the consumption expenditure is at a historic year low, unemployment is at a 50-year high, wages have been stagnant since 2015, and the household debt is at a 34-year high. It is a state who are best placed to uplift Indian by making customized policies. So when the government of India deprives states, the government of India is also depriving 132 crore Indians. Sadly, sir, states have no platform to speak each other or to center. National Development Council, National Integration Council, the Interstate Council, the Planning Commission have been destroyed past 10 years by this central government. Instead, we have a pre-functionary Nidhi Ayog. Sir, please, sir, 2 minutes. Speaker, sir, I would be remiss if I did not speak about the historic 50-year unemployment India is facing. There are many youngsters in the state who have asked me to raise this issue to the BJP government. The Prime Minister says that his government has created 8 crore jobs in the last 4 years. Firstly, the claim is from RBI Kalam database. That same database says that of these 8 crore jobs, over 4 crore jobs are in the informal agri sector and temporary jobs. Secondly, the government of India is claiming that it created 1 lakh jobs every day. It's unimaginable, sir. And it creates 4,174 jobs every hour. And it claims 69 jobs every second. It's unimaginable. It's a joke for this century.
Regarding finance bill, either you should conclude. If any important
you know how it made it this claim by saying that if an Indian works for 30 days in the year, the government claims that person is employed. Is this logic? Thirdly, even if you buy the government's argument, every year over 2 crore youth enter the workforce. That means in the last 10 years, India should have created 20 crore jobs. Yet the government is claiming that it has created only 8 crore jobs, 12 crore fewer jobs than it should have. Additionally,
Madam
the government of India, sir, please allocate 2 minutes.
No, 2 minutes.
I hail from the remote village to represent, to raise the voice of village people. Kindly, I humbly request the government of India is not investing MSME, which are crippled because of the demonetization, GST, COVID lockdown, and no policy support. It is MSME which create crores of jobs in India. Similarly, 63 lakh informal sector establishments closed down, and 1.6 crore people lost their jobs because of the same reason. Sir, in this situation, the government is suggesting it will be PROD, 500 companies to hire 20 interns.
Sri Rajiv Pratap. Sri Rajiv Pratap. धन्यवाद। Already you have already taken more than 10 minutes. I have given you sufficient time, more than your party time. But even because of you have been elected first time, you got ample of time. Please. Ajay, one last line. One last line, please.
1 minute, I conclude.
One line. Please.
1 minute, I conclude.
No, not 1 minute, one line.
Sir.
Kindly conclude.
Treasury bench, one honorable member asked my party leader, Rahul ji.
You have not to respond, please.
I will tell you,
Your leader will respond.
Jati.
Please, Rajiv Pratap Rudy, please. Rajiv